Good morning. It's Labor Day, so me and Robert's out here working in the garden. He's cutting okra today. It's just been a blessing on the whole garden that the okra has just been wonderful. Because we had a neighbor growing up. Her name was Miss Vaughn, but that's what we were taught to call her. But her name was Nettie Vaughn, and she taught Robert. She always had a big garden. And she taught Robert to trim the leaves off to make it bush and bear more. And I love it because it makes it easier to cut. Okay, I want to tell you about how I do my okra. I cut it in small slices and then roll it in cornmeal and then put it in quart bags and put it in the freezer. And when you take it out to fry it, I let it thaw a little bit and then hit it and break it apart and then put it in hot grease and fry it in my orange skillet. And we just love it that way. My whole family, my husband wouldn't even eat it when we got married, and now he loves it. He'll say, honey, fix me some okra. My husband's family didn't raise a garden that I know of because he didn't eat hardly anything from the garden. He was a meat and potatoes man when I married him. Now he eats quite a bit of vegetables, and I think some of it's because he knows how hard we work to raise it, but he's learned to love the garden food too.
Okay, I've brought the okra home. Pam and I split the okra, as you know. We actually share our garden. I've now got it in water. I'm washing it just to make sure that any bug deposits or anything like that are cleaned off the okra before I cut it up. We don't spray any chemicals on our garden, so I know that there's not any herbicides, pesticides, or anything like that on the okra. I will now wash it, clean it, and I'll be back with you in just a second.
What Robert's doing now is cutting up the okra. We're going to have some for our dinner tonight. The key to cutting up okra where the mucilage, or as we country folk call it, the slime, to keep that away is to slice it rather thin. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that you can see what I mean by thin. This helps the okra to fry up more crisp. The favorite way that we fix okra here in the South is we will salt, pepper, and a little bit of cornmeal, mix it up, and fry it in some vegetable oil or the oil of your choice, just lightly, and pan fry it. The best way is in an iron skillet. We dearly love this, but I understand that okra seems to be a favorite in the southern states, that not a lot of northerners raise okra. I know this from watching different food programs on television, and they usually ask about okra and where it's grown and how it's grown. It will take just a few moments for Robert to cut up this okra. Sometimes you can find that a pod is just a little too tough to slice up. You will see one in the waste bowl here that Robert just did not cut up. He will throw that back in his compost pile and let it become fertilizer for the next crop of plants. After he has cut this bowl up, we'll get back on here and show you the completed product as he starts to fry some for our dinner. Right, Robert has cut up some okra, and now we're going to demonstrate what we put in it in order to fry it. It looks like he's going to put about 3/4 of a cup of cornmeal in that amount of okra. Add salt, ground black pepper to your liking. Toss it up with a spoon. That old mixing bowl he's using has been in my family for probably 50 years. And now, as I said, I'm going to follow him over here. Got the iron skillet already preheating. And he's using a little olive oil because we love olive oil. It took us a while to get used to the taste of it, but now that we have, that's our preference. And he's probably added maybe 1/4 of a cup to maybe, would you say there's a little bit more, Robert?
Perhaps there is. And I'll probably need to add more as it fries,
Yeah.
because it will absorb part of the oil.
Yes, okra does absorb, like squash does and zucchini does, and even fried green tomatoes. And that's for another lesson someday. Now, we will fry this on medium-high heat until it's crispy brown. Then we'll remove it from this pan and drain it on probably a paper towel. And that will be one of our vegetables for our dinner.
I'll turn it up to get it started.
Okay. And when the product is closer to being done, we'll come back and show you what it looks like.
Okay, our okra is nearly done. I will have to say this is not the prettiest pan of okra I've ever cooked. But then what would you expect? Anytime you're trying to do something special to film it, it's not going to be your best. But I guarantee you it will be absolutely tasty just like it is.
All right, Robert's going to taste the okra.
It's really good. Really, really good.
Wouldn't expect any less.